So the governor of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu, is reportedly going to endorse Nikki Haley tonight. We do know he'll be joining her at a rally in Manchester, New Hampshire, and we've reached out to the governor's office. All they've said officially is that he will be in attendance at that event. Tia Mitchell with us on the political panel today, the Washington correspondent for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and so is Julia Manchester, national politics reporter for The Hill. So I don't know, I mean, it seems like a good bet. I mean, I interviewed Sununu some time ago, Julia, and it seemed like he might be leaning in this direction anyway. Does it matter, a big picture, that he's behind Nikki Haley? What do you think?
You know, it's interesting. We saw Governor Kim Reynolds in Iowa back Ron DeSantis, but based on the Des Moines Register poll that came out of Iowa voters yesterday, it doesn't seem to have made a dent with Ron DeSantis' support in the state. We see that Donald Trump has actually grown his lead. So it's unclear whether that will have a similar impact in New Hampshire. Certainly, Chris Sununu is a well-known figure in New Hampshire. He's well respected among Republican primary voters there. So it could. However, I think oftentimes endorsements themselves may not matter on the face, but it's normally the resources that come with those endorsements. Like the Koch network that backed Nikki Haley, those resources matter. I
tried to pry one out of Senator John Thune earlier in the hour, and he was supportive of Nikki Haley. Certainly didn't endorse Donald Trump, but I don't think there was anything official there. But Tia, if Sununu makes it official, what's your view on the impact?
Yeah, I agree that the impact will be perhaps if there are some voters in New Hampshire or other states that were leaning against supporting former President Trump and trying to decide between DeSantis and Haley, maybe that'll have an impact. But if there are, it'll only impact people who already were open to supporting Nikki Haley. I don't think it's going to cause any of the people who are Trump voters to all of a sudden change their minds. So again, in the grand scheme of things, it might not have a big impact.
One other topic we haven't mentioned on today's show, we've been talking so much about Ukraine and the battle back and forth of the border, but this Texas abortion case in ruling, and T, I'll start with you this time. It's still in the news with the Supreme Court in the state of Texas having overturned that emergency order on the woman getting the abortion. She left the state, and you know, so I guess in that way it's a moot point. But the larger abortion story in the political context, it's been such a big one the last few elections. Your take as we go into 2024, now that this story, Tia, is in the news.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's about the larger message, the larger political story. And the facts of the case, I think a lot of not just women, but people who think that women who become pregnant should be able to at least have options on the table, particularly when the pregnancy is not viable. I think they're going to be upset by the circumstances of the case, particularly when a lower court said, hey, we reviewed the law, the woman is fine, she should go ahead, get an abortion if her doctors feel that it's necessary. And then the attorney general in the state Supreme Court said, wait a minute, actually, no, we don't think the woman should be able to get an abortion right now. And I think that is going to be troubling to a lot of people in this national conversation.
And will it be troubling, Julia, still for Republicans politically?
Absolutely, because last cycle in the off year in 2023 and in 2022, you heard Democrats point the finger at Republicans and say they want a total ban on abortion. And Republicans tried to run away from that. And you've also heard Republicans like former President Trump say, well, no, we are open to exceptions. While now Democrats can point to this case in Texas and say, no, they don't want exceptions.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.